to do some 4th of July porch decor or not? Well, guess what? I've decided for it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Kelly Barlow Creations. If you're new to my channel and you're stopping by for the first time, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. Stick around a while by clicking that red button for more crafting on a budget, more everything on a budget videos to come. And if you click it again when the bell appears, YouTube should notify you every time I upload a new video, depending on the option that you choose. Yes, in the drop-down menu of the bell. If you're interested in following me on social media, you can find those links, you guessed it, in the description box below. What do I have going on for you for today? I'm bringing to you some 4th of July porch decor. As most of you know, I am really focusing on my porch decor this year, and it is one of those things that I will be incorporating into my content for each of the seasons and the holidays. It's not the only DIYs that I'm bringing to you, but because I have none, I figured, you know what, when I do them, I'm gonna bring you along with them, and I will be adding other content to my channel as well. Since I decided to do 4th of July, boy oh boy, I'm gonna start off with that ladder because Dollar Tree has got some amazing wall decor plaques for 4th of July that I can redo, repurpose so easily to add to my ladder. I can't wait to show you what I've come up with for the 3 DIYs that I'm bringing to you today that are quick, easy, and budget friendly that are gonna look adorable on that ladder that you've made, that you're gonna do for every season and holiday. So I'm gonna quit my gabbing, let's jump into it, and let's do some quick and easy DIYing on a budget for 4th of July for our porch. Let's get to it. Who is today's KB Creations Crafter of the Day? You'll wanna stick around to the end of the video to see if it's your creation that's being featured in today's video. For this first DIY, I'll be using this here wall decor plaque. I chose this plaque because I figured it would be a plaque that most Dollar Trees carried, in turn making it easily accessible for those who want to do this ladder. I chose this plaque because of the stars. I like the size of the stars. Wasn't sure if I was going to incorporate the flag into this DIY. It's not something I'm going to get rid of. I will add it to my stash. But for now, this size star is going to work perfectly, and you are going to see why in a second. So as you can see, I'm just gonna go ahead and disassemble it so I can utilize this plaque for the stars. 3 stars and a flag for $1.25, you can't beat it. I'm gonna be using the back side of these stars because it is a blank canvas. No need to worry about covering up any designs on the other side because it's not gonna show. So to these stars, all 3 of these stars, yep, that is Mod Podge that you see me applying to them. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. No, I'm not adding paper to it. I'm gonna be adding my favorite burlap. Now, I know that there are people out there that are tired of burlap, but just hear me out. Burlap serves for more purposes than just being burlap. It adds texture to a DIY or to a piece. And so instead of just painting these stars and having flat painted stars, if you add burlap to them, then paint them, it is adding a texture that really adds personality to a DIY. Once your Mod Podge is good and dry, the best way to remove the excess burlap is to use a nice fresh blade in your razor, and just using the star as a guide, you can cut off the excess burlap and you're gonna have nice clean edges. You're gonna have nice clean edges free of fraying because you used Mod Podge and it stiffened up that burlap, so then in turn it won't fray or shred. Now it's July, so I figured it was only suiting to go with a red, white, and blue. I am using these colors here by Waverly. They are my favorite: Crimson, Cashew, and Ocean. To these colors, if you add just a bit of Hello Hobby's dark brown to them, it's gonna rustic them up, it's gonna mute them out, it's gonna take that brightness away from them. Now, if you like those bright, vibrant colors, no need to add the brown. I say go for it because this is your DIY. You're making it to suit your decor style. You're getting creative. I'm a creature of habit. I like muted colors. And this is going to match my 4th of July tiered tray from last year. And so again, a creature of habit, I like things to match. And so I love this crimson red with just a bit of brown. I don't show, however, painting the blue, but with the ocean, I did add some brown to the ocean blue as well. And I'm gonna finish off the last star with cashew. And no, there is no brown added to the cashew. I am just using cashew instead of white because white is gonna be too bright. It doesn't look aged and rustic. These wood letters by Crafter Square, you get 26 in a pack. I know that several subscribers have voiced to me that their Dollar Tree doesn't carry these wood letters or they've never been able to find them. I will tell you that I just ordered a case of these online, had them shipped to the store for free, and was able to pick them up. Numbers do come with it, however, but I was able to exchange the numbers for other crafting items. And so I feel like in the case, I got about 14 packs of the letters, which is great. These are great to keep in your stash because they are easy to add to DIYs. The U and the A are gonna get a coating of the cashew, and the S, yep, I'm gonna hit that with the crimson red. I don't show, but you can see that I added stitching to the stars and the letters. Now I'm not going to just hot glue my letters onto the stars. If you want to, you can, but I like to elevate them because again, it's adding dimension and character to a DIY. So by taking some of Dollar Tree's foam tape, they've got a thinner foam tape, which is a 2D tape. It's going to elevate the letters up off the stars. Oh, we are so not done with these stars yet because wait until you see what I have in store for them next. Have you seen these Galvanized Stars by Crafter Square at Dollar Tree? Picked these up a couple months ago. I have seen them since. Oh my word. Yes, these plaque stars are going to fit perfectly in them, but instead of just hot gluing the stars to the inside of my galvanized stars, I'm taking some of the wood cubes, adding it to the back of the star, then going to place these stars in the galvanized star. Would you look at how cool that looks? Just by elevating this star up off the back of the galvanized star, it adds so much to this. Think about it. If you were to just hot glue this star to the back of the galvanized star, it wouldn't look nearly as cool as it does. It wouldn't look dimensional, and just by easily adding some blocks to it, you can just add that touch of creativity and dimension to this DIY, which really does make all the difference. It's the fine tuning. I like to add a banner to my ladder. And so this is the banner that I'm adding and just using some of this thicker craft cord or twine. This is one that you can get at Walmart, a 2-pound spool. Is it spool? Is that bundle? Spool or bundle? I know I do this in every video. Somebody tell me, what do you call it? It's not a skein, right? Because that's yarn. Well, you get a 2-pound, I'm gonna call it bundle, for about $4 at Walmart, which is well worth it. I tell you, I probably use one a year, which makes it worth it. I'm just gonna hot glue some of this to the top of those stars, making myself a banner. How fun is this DIY? I love this piece. What do I have in mind for you for this next DIY for our ladder? Well, with this one, we're gonna use some burlap again. And I didn't show it, but I had this spring sign or this spring plaque that I picked up during spring. I like to pick up these fun plaques just to put in my stash because you know I repurpose them often because of their shape, their decorative shape. And so to this plaque on the back side, I added some Mod Podge, went ahead and added my burlap. This is a good quality burlap roll that you can get at Walmart in the wedding section. It comes in a roll. It's a pretty long roll. I want to say it's a runner, and you're going to get it for about $4 or $5. And I feel like when you use a better grade burlap, it makes all the difference because it's woven more tightly than a burlap that say you get at Dollar Tree. If you're going to use one at Dollar Tree, you're going to want to paint your plaque first. I'm going to go ahead and remove the excess burlap here. I am showing that. I just didn't show how I got the burlap on, but you saw how I did it with the stars. You're going to want to pick up one of these welcome words. Again, you can find this at Dollar Tree. It's by Crafter's Square. And I'm gonna give this a good coating of that ocean blue. And to this, yep, it's gonna get some stitching because that stitching makes all the difference. You also might wanna grab one of these galvanized home stands. To this, again, my goodness, I am not on my game, but you can see I went ahead and painted it red, and the best way to paint these is with a sponge dabber. Dollar Tree's got those yellow sponge dabbers, and they really are the way to go when painting these galvanized pieces because you don't want those brush strokes on it. And I feel like when you use a brush, it takes more coats and the coverage isn't as even. Once I did about 2 coats on it, I'm gonna go ahead and, yep, you guessed it, you see it. I'm adding some stitching with the cashew paint. These are fun pieces to use because it has this stand in the back. So to this stand, I am gonna add a bit of this wood glue by Super Glue. I know that this is metal, but I am gonna be using some wood because I'm gonna add some Jenga blocks to the back of this. Why am I adding Jenga blocks to this? Because I wanna add this to my plaque and I want to have something that can actually adhere onto the plaque itself. All that will adhere onto the plaque is that one metal edge, and that's just not enough to hold it onto the plaque. So by simply adding some Jenga blocks and putting them as close to that edge as you can, you then in turn have a bigger area to adhere this home sign onto the plaque. And well, this plaque too shall have some blue stitching on it because I'm me and I'm gonna stay me. You can see now that I can easily add this home plaque onto the bottom of the plaque, and to the top here, I'm gonna add the welcome. How fun is this piece? This too needs a hanger because it's gonna be hanging from our ladder. So I'm gonna add some twine to the top. The last DIY I have in store for you for this ladder, I'm gonna be using, again, another plaque that I got out of my stash. Yep, a spring and Easter one, but I loved the size of it. That's what I was going for, the size and shape. Funny thing is when I went to take this bunny off, because look at how cute it is. It's a galvanized bunny with a burlap bow. I knew this was something I wanted to keep in my stash for the next spring to come. When I removed it, all of the paper started coming off so easily. And so I just went with it, removed the paper. But because this side is a bit rough, even after removing the paper, I'm gonna stick with the back side because it has a sealed finish on it, making it easier to paint. I'm gonna start off filling in these holes here on what is the top, but will be the sides because I don't want holes in this plaque. Once I've got those holes filled, I'm gonna go in with some cashew and give this a good couple coats of the cashew paint. I had to incorporate a US flag for this ladder to go with the theme. Now, based on this plaque, I went ahead and measured the width of it, not the height, which would be the length, the width. And based on the width, I went ahead and divided that width into 6, and that will give me my 6 stripes. Now, I know there are more than 6 stripes on the US flag, but I cannot do it completely proportionate to what the US flag is. And so I opted to go with what looked good, and that is going to be giving me 6 stripes that measure out at 3/4 of an inch wide. And I did that the full width of this plaque. My flag needs a spot for the stars, and so I decided to go ahead and measure out 5.5 inches. I was a little bit nervous. I wasn't sure how it was gonna look. Once I got the 5.5 inches measured out and drawn in, I wasn't super happy with it. It looked too square, and that area for the stars is more rectangular. In my opinion, it needed to be a bit longer, so I went in at 6.25 inches, and with that, I was happy. I am not somebody who likes to measure often. You all know that. Half the time, I eyeball everything. But there are DIYs where measuring is called for, and this was definitely one of them. Painter's tape is an easy way to get those nice even lines without having to worry about having a steady hand. Dollar Tree's got painter's tape, so it's a must for this. By placing the painter's tape right below those pencil lines, you're gonna cover up your pencil lines when you paint your red stripes. Now, because we did the base coat of this cashew, our white stripes are already done. All we need to worry about is painting in those red ones, and that is what this tape is gonna help us do. I went with 2 coats of the red for my stripes. It is good and dry, so I am cleared to go ahead and remove my painter's tape. Now, when removing this, I will say that there is a bit of bleedage. The lines aren't as crisp as I want them to be, but there is an easy fix for that. If you go in with a nice small brush and some of that cashew or white, whatever it is that you're using for your stripes, and just run along that bottom edge of your red stripes, you'll see how you can just clean up some of that bleedage, making those lines nice and crisp. For the blue, I wasn't real worried about not getting my lines real straight, and so I just decided to go ahead and freehand this part in because, if I'm being honest, I was a little bit worried about putting the painter's tape over the paint and it peeling up some of the paint. Not sure if it'll do that, but I didn't want to risk it because I had already put so much work into this by measuring it, and I didn't want to have to remeasure again. So I'm pretty confident in my skill of making a straight enough line. This is a rustic flag, so perfection doesn't need to be there. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the blue, and it is going to take a couple of coats. I was thinking ahead at Christmas time when I saw these wood stars. I knew that they would be perfect for July. I'm gonna use this wood glue for my stars. Why am I using wood glue instead of hot glue? Because using this glue is going to give me the capability of straightening and moving my stars for a couple of minutes versus you use hot glue, the minute you set it down, you're kind of out of luck. You better hope you got it down right the first time, otherwise you're gonna be pulling that star up, maybe in turn ruining your plaque. And so you can see that once I put the glue on the back of these stars, I can easily kind of move them and straighten them out just a bit, getting that fine tuning in there. Now, for those that are gonna say, Kelly, there are 50 stars on the flag. I know there are 50 stars on the flag, but I don't have 50 small stars, and 50 small stars would be proportionate with my stripes. And since I had these stars on hand from Christmas time, I opted to do, what did I put, 7 stars on there, and I think that it is still doing our flag justice, and I am loving the way it looks, and everything is proportionate with each other. This flag is looking great, but it looks too simple. It looks too plain for my taste. So I did opt to go in with some blue paint and do some blue stitching and outline the flag itself. Okay, that added a lot to it, but it's still missing something. So I decided to just go where each of the stripes meet and add some blue stitching to that too. Although it isn't showing in the video much, in person it made a huge difference. This aluminum word piece, it's one I had in my stash from Christmas. These are great to keep in your stash. And here I am showing you just how easily you can paint these with a sponge dabber, which I didn't show you at the beginning of the video, sorry about that, but you are seeing it now. When using a sponge dabber, it definitely is the way to go. You need 1, maybe 2 coats of paint and you are good to go, and you've got perfect coverage and there are no brush strokes. Stitching was a must on this piece. I will tell you that I originally went to go place this piece on the flag without the stitching, but I just felt like it got lost in the flag. It wasn't popping out as much as I wanted it to, so I did go ahead and add some of the cashew stitching to it. And to the back of it, I am going to add some of that foam tape to elevate it up off the flag. Along with the tape, after I did peel off the protective covering of the adhesive, I did decide just to add a strip of hot glue as well, just to really ensure that it stays on my flag. I am so glad that I decided to add this to my porch and just whip out these DIYs before 4th of July, because I feel like it is just such a fun, festive piece. Now, after 4th of July, I may put my sunflower one out, but for those of you who really like this series, if you want me to come out with another summer one and say the lemon theme, leave me a comment in the comments below and let me know what your thoughts are, because I go off of your feedback. Who is today's KB Creations crafters of the day? First one's going out to Carla Hobbs, who's bringing to us her recreation of my 4th of July fireworks. Loving it, Carla. Thank you so much for sharing your creation with us today. Next one is going out to Janice, who is bringing to us her recreation of my DIY red, white, and blue blocks. Janice, I am loving your spin and your twist on this DIY. Thank you so much for sharing your creation with us today.
What?
Whether this ladder is in the house or out on your porch, I think it is such a fun, interchangeable decor piece. It is definitely one of my favorites, and I'm really enjoying adding pieces to it for each of the holidays and the seasons. I hope you all enjoyed today's 4th of July DIYs for your ladder that you've done, and if you haven't, you can click on the screen at the end of this video and it's gonna take you right to that DIY ladder that you're gonna make, because it's so easy to do, and look at the versatility of it. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and let's get this video to 5,000 likes, because like I always say, each and every one of your thumbs up and those comments that you do leave down below, well, they really do help my channel to grow, and it helps YouTube to notice me just a bit more. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy crafting on a budget. Stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay positive, please, and bye for now, everybody.